Happy November, all you miracles out there. Today, we're chatting about how Jordan Mendoza grew his reach and influence quickly through podcasting and how you can achieve that kind of growth and influence just like he did, lickety split, especially with that 2022 barreling down on us. It is just right around the corner. Hey, friends, it's Erika Warfield with the Influencer Experience of Influencer TV, where we show you how CEOs and founders build their influence. Be sure to check out any relevant links right down in the description field below. And if you like the podcast, we'd be most grateful for your support. So here's what you're going to do. Please give us the thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and catch more wisdom about influence with us. Jordan, thanks so much for sharing your time with us on the show. You help entrepreneurs blaze their own trail. You also do this through strategic marketing, sales, and leadership consulting. You're a coach, you're a speaker, you're a podcast host, and check this out. I didn't know this. You've just been featured in Yahoo Finance. You've had a busy couple of years.
Yeah, it's been busy, but I think you forgot some of the most important things. I'm a father of 5, so 3 boys and 2 girls, right? So I think that adds to the mix, right? It's all the business stuff is fun, but having the family and what all of that looks like, that adds some more pieces to the puzzle, but it makes life more interesting, in my opinion.
You just had the final boy recently too. Tell us about him.
Oh man, he's amazing. He's the anomaly of the family. My wife and I recently found out that both of our grandpas that we never met had blonde hair and blue eyes, and Braylon has blonde hair and blue eyes. All of our other kids are brown hair and brown eyes. So he's truly the anomaly. He's fast, he's smart, like he picks up things so quickly because he has 4 other siblings running around and doing all the things that he wants to do.
Right? That happened with us too. All of us took after the Japanese side, and then my niece, blonde hair, blue eyed. It was like, what? Where did that recessive gene come from? Totally get it. So friends, don't miss the massive tip at the end. This is where Jordan's going to share how he helps others overcome adversity. Jordan, you have several businesses. Like I literally can no longer keep track of you. You are like hopping and bopping and blowing and going. But the 2 main ones that folks know about on the LinkedIn platform really well are your Blaze Your Own Trail Consulting, where you do sales and leadership consulting. And then its sister, the Blaze Your Own Trail podcast. So I guess my question is, with 5 kids, what's it like managing a business and a podcast?
It's the first thing I would say, it's a lot of fun. It's not for the faint of heart, because as you can imagine, when you have five children, I'm very fortunate to have an amazing partner, my wife, Natalie, who does all the hard stuff. I tell people this all the time, but she's, the judge, the juror, she's the negotiator. She does all these, all the different hats. Well, I get to have these fun conversations with people like you and speak to amazing audiences like you have. And so, I don't want people to get it twisted like I do. I can manage all these things on my own, because we all need people in our lives. We all need people on our teams. We all need people that can help us get to where we want to go. So I would be able to do none of what I do, the podcast, the business, the other things I'm involved in, if I didn't surround myself with the right people.
I love that you gave props to your wife. I think a lot of times we forget behind every, fabulous man, there's a fabulous, supportive partner behind that person. And you hear a lot of times people say, if mama ain't happy, ain't no one happy. If daddy ain't happy, ain't no one care. I don't agree with that at all. I think when everybody recognizes each other, they're all one big happy. So why did you start your podcast?
Yeah, so it's funny. A lot of people don't know, but I had a podcast prior to Blaze Your Own Trail that probably nobody heard. I released, I think, 2 episodes on Buzzsprout, and I like to tell people this because I wasn't passionate about the topic. I didn't really know what the heck I was doing, and I had no clue where I wanted it to go. So I had a lack of clarity, and that's why no one even knew that ever happened. And so I knew that when I wanted to really start a show, I knew that there's a few things I wanted to have in place. I for one, wanted to make sure that my topic truly resonated with me and also resonated with things that are important to me, like my Portland Trailblazers. I'm a big Trailblazers fan, grew up in the Pacific Northwest, so being able to tie in Trailblazer, blaze your own trail, having the name of my show have a dual meaning that's near and dear to me was super important. And I had clarity. I knew I wanted to interview people that have blazed their own trail in business and life and find out all about that journey to success, the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights, the zigs, the zags, because the true value, in my opinion, Erica, is when we can really find out about the human being, right? Find out about what have they gone through, what have they overcome, because that's going to create a relevance with us that we're going to be able to see ourselves in them.
Absolutely. I had no idea you named it after the Portland Trails Blazers, but now seeing like all of the sports memorabilia you have behind you and knowing now that you're a sneakerhead, that makes total sense. I wish I could name one after, where I'm at, but I wouldn't want to name one after the Dallas Mavericks, because Mavericks don't end up well at the end of life. So awesome. But real quick reminder to you friends out there, please do click on that thumbs up and subscribe button if you're getting some really great tips from this content. So finally, let's talk about how to overcome adversity. Jordan, you talk a lot about that. In fact, it was you who convinced me to share my story in my About section on LinkedIn on the adversity I had suffered. I don't want to say suffer. I was 4 years old, but getting dumped in the middle of Tehran. And that is something I never would have shared ever. And it was you that really said, no, this is not only wonderful content and it's clickbaitable. It makes you uniquely you. And that tip was huge. So I'm hoping you can share something like that with the folks.
Yeah.
Regarding that. Why is it so important to help others, overcome adversity for you?
Yeah, it's really meaningful for me, and it really plays a lot into my mom. My mom is a woman that is always been my biggest supporter and biggest inspiration until her passing, and she lived till 53 years old with one lung. And she was someone that didn't complain when she had all the right to. She was someone that didn't make excuses and that lived a positive life and was empathetic. And so a lot of her values were really instilled in me as a kid, but not just her values, but actually living these situations out. Like when she would get sick and I'd be at the hospital writing on a notepad because she had a tracheotomy and we couldn't communicate. So I developed a deep sense of empathy then, not just for her, but then, as a kid experiencing my great grandmother getting lung cancer and then getting dementia. So a lot of these experiences I think that we have in our childhood or that we go through really help make deposits in us. So for me, I got empathy deposited. I got things like kindness, having a sense of humor, not being afraid to blaze your own trail, even if the cards are all jokers, so my goal as a business owner and when I'm working with clients, they're going to get the marketing and they're going to get the sales stuff, but I can also help them get over whatever they're dealing with because my mom was a survivor, but before I turned 19, I had been stung by 53 bees in the 4th grade. I got beaten and falsely arrested at 12 and at 19 in a near fatal accident, rolling 3 times going north of 70 miles an hour. So I've suffered my fair share of adversity, but I'm also here to talk about it. So I know that I'm on this planet to help other people to overcome those things, whether that's showing up on camera, having confidence, whether that's somebody like you, Erika, that has this amazing story, but no one knew about it, and you want to get that story out there.
I think you touched on something really, really beautiful. And you had, some very powerful role models, growing up. And who could have foreseen that you would have had such adversity and having that example that they set before you, and you called them survivors. And I think what they did beyond that was they were thriving and they taught you how to thrive and they passed that torch and that legacy on that you will help others thrive. And I think that's so important because the energy level and the frequency right now, not to get woo woo, but it really is. I mean, anybody with half a brain can see that the energy level and the frequency of the world right now is kind of dark. And to have people like yourself out there, blazing the trail, putting the lamp into the feet and helping others, I think is Magnificent. So thank you.
My
I
pleasure.
want folks to be able to reach you quickly about your services at Blaze Your Own Trail Consulting and helping, overcome adversity in their business, in their lives, and having it create such a beautiful synergy together. So can you shout out your number for texting?
Yeah, no problem. So my text number is 678 788 7838. So feel free to text me if you have any questions. If you are watching this and you just want to say, hey, thanks for sharing that, or maybe that there was something that resonated with you that you want to take offline, because I'm a big believer in creating a community, not just online, but also offline as well. So feel free to text me anything.
Awesome. And in the description box, folks, what we're going to do is not only include that text number, we're also going to put Jordan's LinkedIn profile link so you can absolutely find him if you are catching this on YouTube versus a LinkedIn Live or a LinkedIn replay. That's a wrap. Let us know in the comments how you have overcome adversity. Share some tips, be a light to others as well. And be sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and let us know your biggest takeaway. Much joy to you this week. Take care.